Hey y'all, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is about the troubled teen industry. Now, by no means am I a pro at this. I am not a psychiatrist, I'm not a psychologist, but I have been to a residential treatment facility and I can speak from experience. And I also did some research to help educate those who want to learn more about the troubled teen industry. So yeah, let's get right into the video. So these troubled teen programs are supposed to help your child, right? Help them get back on track, help your out of control kid, whatever, that's how it's advertised. And there's an article from Imprint News by Sarah Tiano, and it reports that state-funded agencies found abuse in 18 states. They found civil rights violations, sexual abuse, over-medication, forced isolation from family and support. 18 states that is happening, y'all. And then Vice did a piece on this. Serena Solomon wrote a piece about this, and she talks about the surprise escorts in the early morning. So luckily I got to go by choice, kind of, to the residential that I went to. I was never kidnapped, but I do know a lot of people that have been kidnapped. Legal kidnapping is a thing. It is absolutely terrifying. Yes. I'm gonna quote from that article. Quote, "Several teen clients who attended residential programs attribute their PTSD to the youth transport system that picked them up," end quote. So again, this didn't happen to me, but from my friends, I know that these two men come into your room at 5 in the morning and say, "Do you want to do this the easy way or the hard way?" And the easy way is you just go with them. The hard way is if you don't want to go, but they're going to make you go. Sometimes they put a really heavy boot on you so that you can't run, which is terrifying. These two men take you into a van, fly you across the country to some random program, and your parents are just standing by letting this happen. That is literally disgusting that that's not illegal. As I know, teenagers are not adults, but this is literally legal kidnapping, and no child should ever be kidnapped. And also in this article, the author talked to a doctor from the University of California at San Francisco, and she said about her clients, quote, "These are people in their 20s and 30s, more than a decade after the event," end quote. So this has traumatizing effects on you. It is hard to get over something like that, something so traumatic. It messes up your ideas of safety and trust, and it really messes with you, especially if, this doctor is saying people in their 20s and 30s are still struggling with what happened to them when they were a teenager, and that is terrible. It just shouldn't be happening. Now, the National Youth Rights Association listed some of the types of treatment that I'm going to talk about briefly. So the first one they listed is boot camp, which is physical labor, abuse, and lack of necessities, they'll withhold water and food from you. There's wilderness, and there have been a lot of issues with dehydration, heat strokes, stuff like that. And they won't tell you the date or the time. So you literally have no idea where you are, what day it is, what month it is, what time it is. And that's insane. That is just basic information. And the third kind that they list is conversion. And that's pretty much a residential place trying to make you not gay, trying to pray the gay away, I guess, which obviously is disgusting. And what's just absolutely insane about that is that it's only illegal in 20 states. That means 30 states allow this gay conversion therapy to happen. Do better, America. Are you serious? That is so abusive. Now, my next source is called Carlson Injury Firm, and it is a Utah personal injury law firm. There's a lot of these locations in Utah, a lot of the residential treatment facilities that have really bad reputations are in Utah, so it makes sense that there would be lawyers specifically for that. And on their website, they list 5 signs of abuse at these residential treatments, and I read them and I thought that it was pretty accurate, so I'd like to read those. The first one is if your child is not contacting you regularly. The second is if the program tells you not to believe your child. The third is your child complains of unusual health problems. The fourth is your child's grades have gone down. And the fifth is your child has come home with some noticeable differences in behaviors. Just from personal experience, I was not allowed to contact my parents whenever I wanted to. It was like scheduled, kind of, I don't know, but I couldn't contact them when I wanted to and needed to. The program did tell my parents that I was going to lie or tell them that I didn't need to be there, but I really did, which is sick. Your child's grades have gone down. Most of these programs, a lot of these programs don't even have school, or they don't even care, or you just sit there online and you don't have grades. Like, a lot of these places don't even have a school attached to it. Now, the next article is from Refinery 29, and it's written by Elizabeth Galino. And in this article, it is stated that approximately 50,000 kids are sent to these treatment centers every year, which is just an astounding number to me. The troubled teen industry started with this place called Synanon. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce it, in 1958, and it was shut down in 1991 due to abuse. Apparently, it was super cult-like. They thrived on like humiliation, and that's kind of the root of all of these new residential treatment facilities. Also, in this article, it has mentioned some of the facilities that people have had traumatic events occur at, and these include Spring Ridge Academy, Provo Canyon School, Lighthouse of Northwest Florida, and Eva Carlston Academy. So I looked these up to see if they were open or not, and I know for a fact that Spring Ridge Academy and Provo Canyon School are both open. They both have a 1.1 out of 5-star rating on Google out of hundreds of reviews, which is bad. If that doesn't tell you all you need to know about it, I don't know what will. Like, it's just, it is unbelievable to me that these places have not been shut down. Now, the facility I went to is Newport Academy, and it is definitely nowhere near as abusive as these other facilities. There was no physical harm, there was no sexual abuse, nothing like that. However, it was still a very bad, traumatizing program where the kids there were not treated super well at all. So I wanted to include some information about Newport Academy because I feel like I should. There's a survivors account on Instagram, and that's just so messed up. Not the account. I think the account is a good idea so that people can share their experiences, but there shouldn't have to be survivors of treatment. You're going there to get help and then you come out with more issues, and that's so sad. So I found accounts on Instagram for Newport Academy, Center for Discovery, the Renfrew Center, and Walton Behavioral Care, and I'm sure there's tons more, but that's what I could find. And people are sharing their terrible experiences there. So Newport Academy is obviously still running, and on Yelp the reviews are like either 5 stars, you saved my child's life, oh my god, thank you so much, or 1 star, you traumatized the hell out of my child and she's never been the same. And yeah, it's one or the other though. There's no like mid ones. It's all you saved my life or you ruined my life, pretty much, which is kind of crazy because it makes me feel like a little bit invalidated that all these people are like writing these like 5-star reviews for this place that traumatized me like so heavily. And I don't know, but I am in touch with some of the girls that I went to Newport Academy with, and it's really good to be able to talk to them about, you know, everything that happened there. They are popping up everywhere, and that scares the hell out of me because I really don't want any other kid to have to go there. There's one in Atlanta now, there's one in Dallas, Pennsylvania, Connecticut, Wisconsin, Maryland, and tons in California. Now, this is a for-profit industry, and I don't know if you've ever heard the phrase people over profit, but that is basically how it should be. That is not how it is. These places will take any kid, pretty much, so that they can get the money, because at the end of the day, it's a business and it's not there really to help you. They're just trying to make money so that they can expand their company, like the way Newport Academy is, in my opinion. Also, when you get into therapy, especially with Newport Academy, it really scares me with them. You can get into this loop, this never-ending cycle, and it's really scary. And an example of this is Newport Academy has several different levels of care. So you can start at residential, but then when you leave residential, you can't just go home. You step down to PHP, which is partial hospitalization program, and then you step down to IOP, and then you step down to just outpatient. And so basically they're keeping you there as long as possible so that they can take your money. And a lot of the times people go there and then they end up being sent to a long-term treatment facility. So like one place feeds these kids to another place, and if they have connections and get a kickback, I don't know, but it's really sus to me. Now I thought this was interesting. Dr. Phil and his connection to the troubled teen industry. It is really gross that he videos these kids crying and being sent away and wrestled away from their family to be taken to these treatment facilities that are going to traumatize them. It's really sick. I watched a YouTube video about that, so credit to you, because I didn't really think about it, but it's really sick that he would send kids to these places that do not have good reputations. So I hope that gave you some information, some statistics maybe, at least a basic idea of what the troubled teen industry really is like behind the scenes, because it is not all that it seems. And I'm sure that there's wonderful treatment facilities out there that don't deserve any hate, you know, but for every good facility, there's probably a bad one to match it. So I wanted to end on a happy note and talk about a nonprofit. It is a 501c3 nonprofit called Breaking Code Silence. And I learned about this through Paris Hilton's documentary when she opened up about going to Provo Canyon School. I thought that was great that was in the documentary, and that really made a big impact, and it empowered a lot of people to speak out. So I feel so terrible for everything that happened to her there, but she's so brave for posting that and, you know, doing all of these things, taking action against these schools. So they represent those who are incarcerated in the troubled teen industry, and they advocate to get schools shut down by meeting with policymakers. So if you're going to donate to an organization, I highly suggest donating to this one. They're doing really good work to combat this and to help kids who have been through traumatic experiences as a result of the troubled teen industry. I'm literally winded from talking about all of that. I don't know, it just gets me like riled up. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. I hope maybe you gained something from this video. Yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye!